All right, I did say that this fight would be easy for Ben Whittaker. I said he'd win this fight easy. I didn't think Liam Cameron had much to offer, but but I can't believe Howard Foster stopped this fight. This is one of the worst stoppages I've seen in a long time. In a long, long time. Let's talk about this fight. So, Ben Whittaker wins the rematch with Liam Cameron. He stops him in 2 rounds. Now, going into this fight, I thought that Ben Whittaker would win. I thought that the first fight was a bit of an anomaly. I thought that with Andy Lee, with everything that's going on, he should be much, much, much improved. And Liam Cameron seems like a lovely person, but a very limited fighter, domestic level, it's fair to say. And I thought Whittaker should have the beating of him. He should be able to comfortably win this fight. Early on, it looked... Actually, the first couple of punches were landed by Liam Cameron. He actually got his jab popping quite early. But then Ben Whittaker started to get into his flow, started to move around the ring a little. Not so much showboating, but we're not really seeing much of that these days, thank God. And he was landing a good couple of shots here and there. He was trying to get the uppercut into play, because when you've got a fighter coming at you with the high guard, it's just a shot you can sink in. Straight through the guard, up, landing on the chin. He was a bit off with that. The timing was a bit off. Some of them were not even landing at all. They were just like, literally, he was brushing the gloves. That's all it really was. But you could see what Whittaker was trying to do. He landed a couple of body shots. The body shots straight off the bat, you could tell were having an effect on Liam Cameron, because he was trying to claim they were low when I perfectly thought they were perfectly fine body shots. So Whittaker seemed like he'd relaxed into the fight quite early on. He was doing quite well. I gave him the first round. Although we took a couple of jabs, he was doing well in the first round. He was boxing well and was landing some shots on Liam Cameron. Now, going into the second round, I thought, okay, you started off well. The form is looking all right. So, carry it on. Carry it on and you'll be good to go. So he does that. Carries the form on into the second round, and he lands a big right hand on Liam Cameron. And that stuns him. Okay. That's all well and good. Lands the big right hand, stuns him. And he proceeds, Ben Whittaker, to let a combination go. He throws some body shots in there. He lands a right hand that kind of gets through the guard, lands on the top of Liam Cameron's head. He backs up into the corner, backs up into the ropes. Now, Ben Whittaker is offloading on him. He's really offloading. Some of them are getting blocked, but some of them are also getting through. At this point, the legs appear to dip on Cameron. And he really should have taken a knee. And I thought he would have had the experience to do that, but he didn't. And he kind of falls back into the ropes more. So he's already on them, but this is kind of a leg stiffened and dipped, right? Now, at that point, the referee, Howard Foster, would have been well within his right to step in and administer a count. That's what he should have done. Administered a count. He didn't. He came between both fighters and he waved it off. Listen. Liam Cameron hadn't been hurt prior to that. He hadn't been down. It's early in the fight. If he'd been taking a shellacking fight and then that happened, I probably would have said, okay, fair enough. None of that happened. Ridiculous, pathetic stoppage from Howard Foster. Would Liam Cameron have been able to maybe see out the round? I don't know, is the honest answer. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Ben Whittaker has never really shown himself to be a devastating puncher, although we hurt him. He's not necessarily that type of finisher at that level, so we don't know. But I couldn't believe it. I really was disgusted with that stoppage. And I joined Ade's stream a bit late because obviously we're doing our show this week. I did say to him, I'll be saying I told you so. I will be saying I told you so because I'm a Peter and Rick. But that's why me and Ade are mates. He loves me and I love him. I will be saying it, but I'll be saying, but. I told you so, but. There's always going to be the but there. But I don't agree with this stoppage. I think he should have let it carry on. I do think Liam Cameron was on his way out, but he shouldn't have. Ade was saying that his legs dipped, which they certainly did. So I suspect, but you've got to give him at least a chance because we see too many inconsistencies. And someone brought up Usyk Fury. Tyson Fury was absolutely all over the place. Didn't know where he was in that ninth round. I know it's a world heavyweight title fight. All the marbles are on the line. But nevertheless, he was way hurt. He was hurt way worse. and was allowed to get his standing count. Well, actually, no, he did. No, it was a legit knockdown. He fell into the ropes. It was a legit knockdown. Fair enough, it wasn't a standing count. But the referee let it carry on. Fair enough. With something like this. And Howard Foster has a history of this. He's got a history of this. He's done it too many times. And I'm going to point this out, right? Howard Foster was the referee, and you may not remember this. He was the referee for Josh Warrington versus Mauricio Lara 1. He was referee for that fight. That fight took place behind closed doors in 2021, 4 years ago. Now, Josh Warrington was knocked out in the 9th round. He was nearly knocked out cold by Mauricio Lara. It was round 4 or 5. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was round 5. He got dropped very heavily by Mauricio Lara, and he was taking an absolute Hail Mary shellacking in that 5th round. He was taking a beating. By the time he went back to the corner, it looked like he'd been beaten with bats by about 5 or 6 people. Howard Foster never even came close to stopping that fight. What the hell? That wasn't even a world title fight. Josh Warrington gave up his world title. There's no consistency. What's going on here? And he was way more hurt. Way more hurt. He was the house fighter for that fight, by the way. Just saying. I don't agree with this. I'm not happy with this stoppage at all. I think that, listen, I don't want to see fighters get stretched out and hurt. You know, I don't want to see them leave the ring of brain damage. But at the end of the day, you can't swim without getting hit. You got to give the fighter a chance. At the very least, give him that. If he's still showing some signs of life, if he's still showing that he's cognitive to an extent, you got to give him. So it's early in the fight. He's not taking any big punishment at all. You got to let him carry on. No, I'm not happy with this stoppage at all. Prediction is right. Ben Whittaker won the fight easy, but it honestly, I left a bad taste in my mouth, that stoppage. It really did. It really did. And that's that. For Liam Cameron, well, Frank Warren is going to be furious, you can imagine. Liam Cameron didn't really appeal it, which is one thing that you kind of look at and say, okay, well, why didn't you, like, not why didn't you, but like, you should be appealing that. You should be angry because, look, I thought that Ebenezer Tete, Fraser Clark was a slightly early stoppage, but he was way more hurt and he was shifting punishment. You can kind of see why, and he was furious, Ebenezer Tete. There was none of that fire. I wonder, was it a real case of, look how much money I made? Because Liam Cameron's never really made any big pays. I wonder if he just thought, you know what, the hell with it, the ambition is gone, give me my money, see you later. I hope it's not that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. Smash the like button if you could. Hit subscribe. Of course, as always, people, if you haven't already, I might get a chance to... I was thinking I was going to have to record a video of the week tomorrow. I might get a chance to do it tonight. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed the video, people. Smash the like button. Hit subscribe. All of that good stuff. Peace.
Live on DAZN Worldwide, April 26th, Eubank Jr. versus Ben. 30 years of rivalry and hatred.
I do hate him.
All comes down to this. The next generation, a new destroyer. For family, history, legacy. Eubank Jr. versus Ben, April 26th. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.